All right, good afternoon. Welcome to this session of PAIR Forum. As I mentioned in the morning, PAIR has been working on 3 areas. The first area is good health and well-being. And then the second one is advanced technologies. And then the last one is sustainable cities. So now we are in the first session. Good health and well-being. In this area, we have 7 units, which consist of 3 research institutes and 4 research centers. So I will ask the directors of those research institutes and centers to give a very short presentation. And then at the end, we'll have 15 minutes of discussion. So first, I would like to have Professor Zhang Yuanping, who is the director of Research Institute for Smart Aging, to give a 8 minutes presentation.
Thanks, Professor Chen, for the introduction. And good afternoon, colleagues, students, and guests. I don't know why aging should be the last, but now it's the first. Maybe because, anyhow, we only have 8 minutes, so I just quickly introduce what we are doing here. Research Institute for Smart Aging, so we call it, in short, RISA. So after you see these figures, you are definitely important. Aging should be the first, because the labor is reducing and the aging population increasing and leading to a scaring ratio. Okay, very soon, 2 people working to support 1 elderly. So some of you may think, how about China? The situation in China actually is similar, but just some kind of time lag, around 15 years. Very similar situation. So on the left, this is we normally thinking about aging. On the right, this is our smart aging want to do. So in between, this is what our chief executive just mentioned, silver economy. Okay, so thinking about that, so this is our opportunity. So we have a very interdisciplinary team from many departments and faculties. So this is our vision, very easy to understand because we just want to do something good, okay, for aging, and doesn't relate to any of you, okay, sooner or later. And this is some area that we are focusing, and we focus on health, definitely, okay, and society, we have social workers, and also intelligence. This is very specific, it's related to our brain, because brain is a big area with big problems. Okay, now mental dementia, stroke, Parkinson's disease, a lot of all kind of disease are linking with aging. And also the environment, okay, building, a lot of things. And finally, certainly technology to support all this, what we want to do. Okay, so this is our like a mechanism, okay? We try to glue all people together in a campus. Certainly through campus, we reach out our sister universities, the expertise there, and globally, nationally, okay? And ultimately, we want to achieve impacts, and we create the knowledge along these areas. So this is why RISA, we have currently working from very fundamental research regarding why aging, okay? Whether we can like delay a little bit, or whether we can control dementia and all kind of mechanism issues. But also we want to do more applied, okay? So ultimately to generate impact. So I think this is very easy to understand. So this is one model that we want to apply, and actually we are applying, okay? So like I listed here 3 big issues like dementia, stroke, and fall, the mobility. So again, we definitely need many people from many disciplines, just like today. So we have so many colleagues and students, guests from all different fields, and ultimately we want to solve, okay? And certainly globally, everywhere also solving that, and whether our PolyU have some special features, okay? So this is some areas that we have, specific more related to application. So Jockey Club has supported us heavily for us to develop something useful, and we want to promote, educate, apply, connect people, and do innovative research. And certainly, ultimately, we want to evaluate whether all this technology really useful or not. And you can see smart door. And here, actually, we have two elements. We have called a smart ambassador and smart door. Smart ambassador is those elderly people retired, and they come to help. And we teach them how to use technology and now become an ambassador. And this smart door actually can interact with people. This one has been widely actually tried and actually we are selling, okay? Now we have even in Australia and Canada have some installations. This is another practical, we call it e-log to monitor elderly people in elderly home. So with some sensing and AR technologies and to understand whether they are sleeping there or leaving and giving related alarm. So I just want to highlight one thing because I earlier mentioned we create knowledge. On that side, we want to generate impact. And one good thing to generate impact is to have startup and make this startup works. And we recruit a lot of people. And definitely we hope to contribute the silver economy, okay? So these are actually some of our startups in different areas, but relate to or associated with research, okay? So I just want to highlight one of them in the coming 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes left. So I just want to highlight one example. Liver, okay? So then we have a liver scan actually developed by a group, okay, in PolyU. So liver disease actually has many types, and one of them called a fatty liver, around 30% of prevalence, meaning that in this room, we have a lot of hidden fatty liver cases you do not know, okay? And even for liver fibrosis, that will lead to cirrhosis, has 7%. And we have quite a few inside this room. Yesterday, we actually have delegates from Jiangsu province, about 10 people, 2 very brave gentlemen, they want to try. And out of 2, we found 1 hidden fibrosis case. So meaning that actually is quite common. So in the market, we currently have a very big device. However, we think that if the fatty liver prevalence is almost same as hypertension, also 30%, and then liver fibrosis, 7%, diabetes prevalence is 9%, almost equivalent. But we can imagine, everybody know, we have so many blood pressure meters, glucose meters, even in your home. How about liver? None. So this is why the team want to develop this device. And fortunately, with some fundamental research, with some students work, start, and finally, this product now in the market, it has been approved by FDA and also in China. And currently, they are considering to reach out to all different regions. And we have PolyU patents inside that is image guiding, and also make this device so small, okay, a palm size. And actually right now, later on I'll share with you the poster, okay? PolyU has supported with the president or the senior members, and also our BME supported. And we will launch this full-time staff screening this month or next month. The announcement was from UHS, okay? You notice that? Then please register, okay? And certainly in Hong Kong and also in the whole China, we do a lot of all kinds of this screening. Basically, the device can be operated almost anywhere you can imagine. So this actually today, in one of the venue, we are doing the screening service there. If you want, you can go to that room, okay, and to have a test. So only 1 minute. And this is what I mentioned. I deliberately removed the barcode. This is why you cannot register now, because not open yet, okay? Otherwise, it will cause problems to our system. But this is what we are doing, okay? Very soon, you will receive this email. Please, okay? Please try your best, okay, to register. And yeah, this device, our development has received some, and this is a few days ago, actually in Shanghai, our CEO got another award for this product. So I just want to say, with the last 5 minutes, sorry, not seconds, that it is possible, okay, for some PolyU innovation to reach the market, to reach you, or to reach the patients. So I'd like to stop here because I'm the first. I would really want to set a good model, right? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Chung, for keeping the time, and also your presentation is very enthusiastic. It's wonderful. Thank you. And we'd like to see your device being used to serve the, the PolyU community, alumni, etc. So the next, I'm going to invite Professor Amber Chow, who is the Associate Director of Future Food, Research Institute for Future Food. If you scan the code, barcode this morning, probably you already got the ice cream, and that's made by this research institute. Amber, please.
Okay. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for coming here. So our is the abbreviation of our research institute is called RI Food. So as you know, like food is closely related to our daily life, and it crosses the whole lifespan. So our target will be from young kids to elderly. So first of all, that's our vision and missions. We have some historical work for more than 10 years, starting from the department and food centers. And we hope to provide some like young talents or like all kinds of talents to support sustainable solution for our diet and health. Anyway, we also have quite a diverse backgrounds of the faculty from different departments and different faculties to facilitate our research work. The main research directions in RI food cross from the environment to our food to humankind. So not only we only look at the food itself, but also the environment, how to provide a healthy environment to nurture, a healthy food, quality of food, that eventually will benefit human health and nutrition. So those are here comes several like examples that we would like to showcase for some of the multidisciplinary projects we have. We have more than 20. And this one is precision aquaponics. So this type of the farming is quite suitable for a city settings like Hong Kong, because we have limited farms and we rely heavily on importing of the food from other countries. So not only we can have quite condensed plants in a very limited capacities, but also we can kind of like titrate the nutrients in those vegetables so that we can tailor-made to produce the vegetables that will fill the health status of Hong Kong populations. Another one is aqua farm, which is close to it's very close to Donglongzhou. So it's a multidisciplinary projects together with the food and smart smart energies and AIs. Sorry for that. We have installed quite some interesting instrument which can monitor the swim of the fish under the water so that we know their health status, and also help us to count how many numbers of the fish are in this. Not only that, the whole device actually is a floating device, so it can sustain typhoon. Like typhoon is a common phenomena in Hong Kong, and normally when there is a typhoon, it will bring quite significant damage to the fishes. But the whole thing is like a gigantic. It looks like a tissue culture plate, but it's quite gigantic for fish. So it allows us to design, customize like a feeding practice or different formula of the feeds so that we can have not only the health fish, but the one with good qualities. We also check the amino acid profiling of those fish to know that, so that they taste better. And another one is upcycling of food waste. So this is one of the example is that we can utilize the food waste such as coffee, the spent coffee beans and tissue, the tea leaves. So we can integrate some of the polymers to become a 3D printing materials. I think we have showcased some of those materials in our booth of iFood, so please pay a visit after this. The second direction is the functional food. This is also one of the major areas that we are interested in. So many traditional food like the fish paus and the what's that, the 黄花鱼啊，这个鱼花椒啊，丽丽 and those. And that's another projects of utilizing the polysaccharide from the TCM based of the TCM based polysaccharides together with the selenium nanoparticle, which is which has some beneficial effect to the health, but we make the molecules into the nanoparticle size so that it's more bioavailable, but at the same time, less toxicities. Right, so we also have the first ever joint lab with the Yakko. You know, like Yakko is a Japanese companies, and they never have the joint lab with other institute. So this is the first time that they have a joint institute with the university, which is PolyU in Hong Kong. And they focus on looking at the beneficial effect of the probiotics on eczema and some GI disease. Another one is the early life, the importance of the early life on infant health. So this is very important directions that we have been working on more for probably about a decades. So from the composition of the breast milk and how the maternal diet affect the composition of the breast milk, in turn affecting the health of the infants, including gut microbiota and health and visual development. So we acknowledge the importance of the early life nutrition. We also would have dietetic programs launch next years. So in that, we hope we can take the advantage of the research and the educations so that both could benefit each other, so we can walk longer and further. And we are also interested in and working on some future food techniques, such as like food identifications, networking, and culture meat, plant meat, alternative meat, and meat, and a technique to remove the that should be methane in the beer. At the same time, we have quite a few collaborations parties in local, from government to food companies, and also in Great China, as we have close relationship and collaborations with different universities, and globally with many of those, we have either collaboration on the programs, on the teachings, but also on the research and KTs. And just a little bit extension about, we also have a subset of the Food Technology Innovation Research Center in Qingyan, Fujian province. So in that, we will focus more on the KD and translational research, hope to upgrade the food products or the techniques for local industries. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Professor Chow, for the very comprehensive presentation. Then next, I will introduce Professor Zhang Ming, who is the Director of Research Institute for Sport Science and Technology. So he will give more exciting things for you to exercise.
Thanks, Professor Chen. And good afternoon, everyone. This is RI Sports. So RI Sports formed in 2022 and got inauguration ceremony in 2023 with the support from Huang Qinbo, a famous Hong Kong cyclist. You know, RI sports is not only for research, also for promotion of sports and PolyU. That's why I include those items for promotion. Okay, we have a big team, about 100 PolyU staff interested in our research center, a research institute. So from 15 departments. So the purpose of the RI sports is to integrate PolyU expert, collaborate with the world leader to provide a scientific and novel engineering solution for sports. So we do work for both, I should say, all type of person. For elite athletes, we try to provide scientific support to strengthen their competitiveness to get more medal from science to medal. For general publication, we try to stimulate more people to work for sports in a safe way. That's very important. For the person with special needs, we provide assistant technology to allow them to do sports properly. So we have a 4 thematic area: sports biomechanics, human product interaction, sports measurement, feedback, instrumentation, and sports product design, materials and fabrication, and sports training rehabilitation. And I give you a few examples what we do for sports. We try to transfer strong PolyU engineering technology and different type of technology to sports. We try to using this model to understand internal force or external force of our body when we do sports. So if we want to get that, we need some motion capture. We need to know the body how to move. So you see, we're using multi-camera system and single camera system based on computer vision and AI to get the model, then to analyze the motion. So we're using those models for the elite athlete in Hong Kong, for example, karate and fencing. We do analyze their motion, provide biomechanical feedback to coach and to athletes, hope they can do better. This is for fencing, Zhang okay. So we need to know not only motion, we need to know our body shape. That's why we develop a 3D body shape scan to get the geometry of our body. Then we can gradually to build up a human body database. Based on this measurement, we can get all the dimensions in the future. When you go to hospital, not only the body height, body weight, we need to get all the dimensions of your body. Also can check whether you have any potential problem. If any problem, we can do some treatment. For example, we can use simple 3D printing insole to deal with any pain of your body, and people have a different shape of the body. We need to have a different alignment. So the special designed insole can help us for solve some problem. So we also using the 3D printing to get the sandal, also even the basketball. And we have a strong team in fashion and textile. They design new sportswear. And we also have an engineering team to work on aerodynamics to know the resistance of the ball, how the wind affect on the ball, and we can design a good ball in the future. And people also work on the fatigue. You know, fatigue is very important in sports. We have a different method to try to understand the fatigue situation. Then other team work on how to quickly recover of the fatigue. And we have a different project related to diving. You know, we have Wang Xin is the Olympic champion in 2008 in diving. Okay, she is our PhD student now. She's project is working on diving, try to see how the movement and what is the pressure applied on the body. And we also have the swimming project, try to using the wearable sensor and even the cycling. And running is very good activity, and running, we believe, can solve many problems for overweight, hypertension, etc. So we develop a type of techie run. Okay, this is myself. I have run for nearly 2 years. Okay, try to control my speed gradually until a certain level. Different people have a different control based on your body condition. Make sure no dangers, okay, no risk. And then we can slow down, make sure you feel happy after you running, that you can continue next time. So we even have a Tai Chi game, okay, Tai Chi run game, not check who can run fast and long distance, but we control the heartbeat to see whether you control your heartbeat well. We also have other game for the golf, okay? Our sport try to collaborate with other stakeholders. For example, we signed agreement with the Hong Kong Sports Institute. We can work together with Hong Kong elite athlete. We have a collaboration with the Samaranchi Foundation. We can approach international sports team. Then we have a ABSG Sports Technology Center, and even for DGS high school. Okay? So we're trying to stimulate more people work together. And we work closely with the footwear industry. And for example, the local industry, Dr. Kong, Essex in Japan, and Li-Ning in China, etc. So we also work for donation because nowadays so many people interested in sports. We already got some approach to talk about donation, and we also work with other institute. For example, this is a coach for karate and different type of coach, even for the La Liga. You know, La Liga is for Spain football game. Okay? And we work for Paralympic game to develop assistive technology for the last Paralympic, for the last Paris Paralympic. We did sell a lot of assistive technology for those people. And we also work with the biomedical engineering department for sports talent training. We will offer a master's degree sports technology management next year. And we also provide sports science technology under BME program. PolyU set up PolyU sports scholarship scheme for RPG. For those people who get the excellent result, like Wang Xin is a champion for Olympic, we will provide scholarship for their pursue PhD study. And we also provide those lecture, okay? So we do have a conference, and next year we will form an International Society for Sports Science Technology. Hope our conference will change the name to World Congress. Okay. We not only supported by PolyU staff, we also supported by many those sports elite athletes. They all got the world champion or gold medal. They give us a lot of advice. So I believe science technology can promote sports development. PolyU RS sports will become a big shining star very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Zhang. Now we have food, you can do exercise, and somebody will take good care when you become old. But in case, you know, something happened to your health, for example, mental health, what shall I do? Then we have Professor CHEN, who is an interim director for Mental Health Research Center, will give you a solution.
Thank you, Professor Chen. Good afternoon. Thank you for attending the InnoTech Forum. It is my pleasure to present the Mental Health Research Center's Interdisciplinary Research with the objectives of advancing our understanding about mental health, raising public awareness of mental health, and developing evidence-based interventions. According to the World Health Organization, there's no health without mental health. It emphasizes a state of emotional and mental well-being that helps us cope with stress. Our center has been trying to address a global problem of strategic importance. For example, my team conducted a multinational study to investigate the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on mental health by collecting data from over 25,000 community adults across 35 countries and societies. And we found that 28% of the respondents experienced moderate to extremely severe anxiety, and 26% experienced moderate to extremely severe depression, 18% experienced stress. Our center has focused on 5 research themes, including basic and translational neuroscience of mental health, neuroimaging studies, and innovative cognitive rehabilitation of mental disorders, behavioral and psychiatric rehabilitation, psychosocial and cultural aspects of mental health, as well as service use and social policy of mental health. And these 5 research themes are implemented through 3 working arms, which are basic neuroscience, intervention, development, and society and policy for mental health. I'm going to give some examples in these areas. Dr. Bolton Chow and Dr. Georg Grens conducted neuroimaging studies and found that the lateral frontal polar cortex is involved in processing complex information during decision-making, and transient stimulation of the FPI can modulate decision-making temporarily. And the follow-up research is supported by RGC's Young CRF. Dr. Xu Chen Liang, Professor Benjamin Yi, and Dr. Mak Yin-Hua conducted the first fMRI study to examine the relationship between brain activities and anticipatory affective motivation to improve the understanding of the neurobasics of evolution in schizophrenia. This result has potential development for early detection, diagnosis, and treatment for evolution. And Dr. Georg Grens performed worldwide first randomized, double-blind, sham-controlled longitudinal clinical trial in major depression with novel non-invasive brain stimulation technique using shock waves to modulate brain function and so as to reduce depression symptoms. Dr. Terence Chung also used transcranial pulse stimulation for improving attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and oppositional defiant disorder symptoms. Dr. Jessie Lin and Professor Hector Zhang developed a mobile app intervention supported by HMRF. Including health Qigong intervention for 8 weeks and mindfulness-based practice for 8 weeks, totaling 16 weeks. And here's an illustration of the mobile app. The health Qigong intervention focuses on various breathing practices and 八段锦 Qigong practices. The mindfulness-based intervention focuses on body screening, daily practices, and habit advices. My team has developed a VR social exposure training for reducing social anxiety in youth, funded by the Health Bureau. Based on the cognitive behavioral approach, we designed 3 scenes to train participants with a virtual coach using 5 levels of progressive exposure with instant monitoring of stress level and interactive tasks. It aims to improve mental and functional outcomes for those suffering from social anxiety and makes therapy more accessible to individuals who are unable or unwilling to attend traditional in-person therapy due to their nature of condition. Dr. Brian Hui's team developed gamified VR intervention to promote adolescents' pro-social behavior, also funded by the Health Bureau. They designed a 5-week gamified pro-social VR intervention using 5 scenes with a randomized controlled trial. It also has a college version to benefit individuals in the society. And then Dr. Grace Ho is leading a large-scale project termed Resilient Students Training Hub. It is a 5-year campus-wide research-driven service and education initiative that adopts a strength-based, trauma-informed, and proactive approach to promote student mental health and resilience. It has online wellness self-assessment platforms, which can measure different aspects of current mental, behavioral, and relational health. It also provides mental resources such as psychoeducational videos and infographics. Since its launch, over 3,000 participants have benefited from this mental health resources. Finally, Professor Hector Zhang's team developed and validated a computerized program to assess the needs of carers who are taking care of patients. So I don't have time to elaborate on the projects. Please follow us on our social media platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Chen, for a very comprehensive presentation. Now, the next one is about the Chinese medicine innovation. So we have a research center led by Professor Wang Mengxiu. So please.
Thank you. So I'll try to make sure 5 minutes, okay? So thanks for attending these sessions. Okay, let me introduce our center briefly. We start in 2021, and our mission is to become a research institute and hopefully to do more research and application of Chinese medicine treatment and practice in order to improve public health and well-beings. Now, for the mission, one thing probably as an alumni, you know that we don't have a school of Chinese medicine. So when people try to approach us for doing anything related to Chinese medicine, now our CMI is the major one. So you can come here for one-stop services to approach us for all kinds of activities. So we aim to work together as an interdisciplinary team to do high-impact research, promote young people to get involved in our research area. And most importantly, our allied health colleagues would like to apply Chinese medicine in primary care. Now, our management team is an interdisciplinary team, including people from food science and nutrition, and also in rehabilitation science and nursing. And we are now having 61 members coming from 8 different departments. Now, let me introduce briefly our platform. So basically, this platform allows us to interact among different departments and researchers who are trained as a more basic scientists to those who are from clinical sciences. So now we have a very good platform for doing, for example, herbal standardizations and quality control. We can also do very good animal models to prove some of the treatment, either herbal or the traditional practice is going to be good for health. And most importantly, we can do high quality clinical study. Now, in the remaining time, I'm going to use 5 examples to illustrate what we are doing. Now, the first one is done by led by Professor Simon Lee. He has identified a compound from a Chinese herb, and it turns out to be very potent in a way that could improve clinical symptoms of Parkinson's disease and while delaying the progressions of the disease. Now, in doing so, he has applied a patent for this particular drug. And recently, he has started a startup company and being admitted into the Hong Kong Science Park InQ Bio program. And his next step is to apply for the IND for next year for evaluations in early 2025. Now, the next one is that in my team, we are focusing on musculoskeletal health. So in a long time, I've been working for a particular herb called Fructologistri lucidi, in Chinese, 女贞子, 女贞子. Now, these particular herbs have some vitamin D-like activities. So we identify and also actually file a patent for the actions of these particular combinations, and recently get an award from the Geneva exhibitions, a silver award. And this is actually being approached by many companies currently. Now, based on the same line of study, we think about the 女贞子 is actually part of a herb that is commonly used by many Chinese medicine practitioners. And in the traditional formula, there's one formula called 二字丸. It's actually 2 herbs together. Now, in my team, Dr. Poon is actually working on this, and we recently got an HMRF, Health Medical Research Fund project, and we've really proved that this particular combination is very good for osteosarcopenia, basically both osteoporosis and sarcopenia, which is a very important conditions that affect older people. Now, another example is led by Professor Xiangdong Ng, who's also an associate director. She has been working with stroke patients for a long time, and particularly she's interested in using transcutaneous electric nerve stimulations at the acupoint. So she has been doing a lot of randomized control trial to prove that it is actually a very effective strategy in improving motor functions in people who have been having stroke. So this has been improving the field of physiotherapy because this will be routinely adopted into primary care setting. Now, another colleagues from our also associate director is Jerry. Dr. Jerry Young is actually a Chinese medicine practitioner. So he has been interested in the management of pain, sleep, and mood disorder. So he's now collaborating with different colleagues in RCMI and is particularly interested in applying both to acupressure or acupuncture to specific places to improve, for example, mood conditions and also sleep disorder. So he has been invited to different media and doing public educations. Now, last but not least, I think most of you know as alumni that we have a very strong school of optometry. So we are, when we're setting up RCMI, we form an interdisciplinary team to promote the use of herbals. And there's two examples. One is by Dr. Do, who are using Xiangdong, Xiangdong, okay. Another one is actually by Dr. Zhou, is using Geigok Dewang. Both of them are proven to have effectiveness in improving dry eyes condition and also glaucoma. So I'm done with my time. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Wang. You also introduced our next speaker. That will be Professor He Mingguang. He's the director of Research Center for Sharp Vision. It's a very important area because I look here, so many people wear glasses, right? You're nearsighted like me.
Thank you so much, Professor Chen. Today I'm going to walk you through a little bit what we are doing in the Research Center for Sharp Vision in particular. So why we call it Sharp Vision, S-H-A-R-P, because it's really the name from the 5 prioritizing theme. The first one is the shape engineering, S, and the second one is H, health process, and the third one is augmentation therapy. We talk about new treatment, new devices for eye care. So this we got an A, and then regenerative vision, and then the final one is patient care. So that's why we call it S-H-A-R-P, Sharp Vision. So we actually working on 3 particular areas. One is the myopia control, because we work in the School of Optometry. Myopia control is a key priority area. How to defer or slow down the progression of myopia, how to avoid people becoming myopia. And the second one is how to, if you are able to see better, how we are able to use this opportunity to make you also learn better. And the third one is on the neurovision in particular. So the RCSV is a little bit different. We pay a lot of attention on working with the top institute or top authority. So on the left-hand side, we work with the U.S. National Eye Health, the NIH. So this is a top grant body in United States. We work with them to run the first U.S. Asia Pacific panel workshop on discussing how to adopting artificial intelligence in ophthalmology. So this will bring us a new opportunity to assess the major grant from NIH and NEI. And on the right-hand side, we have introduction lecture for working with Michael Slider in the Stanford, in particular to build, we call it PolyU Stanford Joint Lab of Longitudinal Deep Omics. So this study is aiming to adopt the multi-omics idea to work in particular on the major discovery that will potentially publish in Nature Cell and Science. So we also have a lot of interdisciplinary work. So this is our colleagues in the RCSV. They are having successfully have this award from the International Exhibition of Invention in Geneva. So we also pay a lot of attention on how to attract not just partnership, not just signing agreement, but also invest or significant money to establish joint research lab. For example, on the left-hand side, we work with the Roto or mentholatum. they provide 5 million Hong Kong dollar to establish this joint research lab, in particular working on eye fatigue. We're developing new technology to quantify and measure, and later on we'll have set up a testing center for eye fatigue. And then on the right-hand side, we work with the HKIB, Huikang Biotech, to working on the polypeptide or polyomics research. So this is a 10 million contract work. So you're welcome to visit our innovation booth. On the left-hand side is a fully automatic self-testing camera that it doesn't require image technician to take the image. It doesn't require eye professional like ophthalmologists to interpret the image anymore, because everything is self-testing and driven by AI. We also developed this watch that are able to not just monitor your heart rate, but also they're able to recognize what you are doing because it's static behavior. Are you drinking, talking, working with people? So we're also able to measure how your level of stress as well. So with this, I just want to conclude our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor He. Now we also take care of all the disease we can cure. And if you are healthy, what do you want to do next? Of course, leisure, right? So we have a Professor Haiyan Song, who is the director of Research Center for Digital Transformation of Tourism. Please.
Thank you, Professor Chen. Our center actually is the youngest center. We only established in January this year. But this is also a multidisciplinary research center. Members are coming from all faculties within the university. This center actually established against a major backdrop, which tourism is one of the pillar industry in Hong Kong, which create every 1 in 10 jobs according to World Travel Tourism Council, and also a close to 10% of GDP coming from tourism hospitality related sector. So the vision basically is to optimize the travel experience and achieving environment and business sustainability, because Hong Kong actually now, especially tourism, is in a flexion point. We have to transform the tourism hospitality industry in order to be sustained in the long run. We are suffering a lot of problems. You probably already seen in Hong Kong in terms of lack of tourism arrivals, and also there's also problems with the local community, which is against tourists in the past. So these are the issues that we are facing. So I'm not going to actually explain all the research project we are doing. We are doing actually about 10 major research projects. I only pick 4 of those research projects just to explain to you what we are doing and what are the issues we are trying to address. The first research project is actually we are creating a self-adaptive tourism demand forecasting platform for the GPA. As we know, all future decision makings related to tourism has to rely on the demand for tourism in the region, including Hong Kong. So we actually developed this monitoring system, provide forecast of future tourism demand in the GBA, the 11 cities, which we forecast tourist arrivals to these 11 cities from a different source market. And we also forecast tourist expenditure of tourism in these destinations. At the same time, we also carry out sentiment analysis. So this actually a diagram, this picture shows the structure of this system. The system was launched earlier this year or late last year, just a little bit before the center was formally established, but our members has been involved in this project for quite a bit of time. And if you are interested in the system, you can always find out through the internet and log into the system and have a look to see what are included in this platform. So it is fully functional, provide very useful information, not only for the government decision policy makers, but also business decision makers. So this is one project we are doing, and we continue to refine this system and including more functions in the system. For example, in the future, we also will be incorporate carbon emissions resulted from travel and also forecast the future of carbon emissions. The second project I'm going to talk about is the contactless and the smart hotel product and services. And this actually is one of our members who has been working with her team to look at how the contactless product and services will help the industry not only to reduce the cost, increase efficiency, but also increase the experience of tourists when they stay in the hotels. And this is particularly important after COVID-19 because, you know, contactless somehow become very important. In the past, this was not a issue, but after COVID-19, this was crucial for the future industry development. Actually, their research has been adopted by 13,000 hotels across China and increased operation efficiency by 40%. So if you're adopting these technologies developed by our colleagues, actually you can see there's a huge increase in terms of efficiency and also reduce human contact by 90% without actually affecting consumer behavior. So the social impact is obvious: enhance health safety when you travel, and also foster autonomous hotel environment, and also reduce dependency on human labor and reshape the future of guest interactions. So this actually is one of the impact cases we are submitting from our school. And then the next example is the generative AI avatars, which also has been trialed, piloted, and we think this is going to be very useful, important in the future hotel operations. So basically, instead of a human being to greeting you in the hotels, time's up already. Oh my God. So this is actually probably just go through the very quick. So probably another project is very important. Just 1 minute, 30 seconds. This we call the Tourometer, which is a social listening tool. Remember, in 2019, there was sentiment against tourists from certain regions and countries, especially against Chinese tourists. So there's a positive side of tourism, which generate income to the society, but at the same time generate a negative impact, crowding, and also invasion to the local communities. So this system actually was developed by Professor Cassie Xu, who basically developed a system that can monitor the sentiment of local residents towards tourism, so that provide useful information for the government in terms of formulating appropriate policies to resolve these issues. But my time is already up, so I'm not going to explain more, but there were another example I'm going to show, but maybe next time. But if you are interested in our research, do log on to the website, the PAIR website, and have a look at the website to see what are we doing. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Professor Song. I would like to thank all the directors for keeping the time. And now I would like to invite all of them to the front, and we'll have a time for Q&A, right? Yes. Okay.
I order give you a hand.
Thank you very much. It's very
Hi,
good.
I'm Yiping from the Greater Bay Area Carbon Neutrality Association. So, sorry, I'm a little bit late. So, catch up with the hotel issue. So, we are in the Greater Bay. We are called a low carbon hotel. So, there is a chicken and egg because the hotel industry is not so promising, but they need more investment on the low carbon revamp. So, I do think Hong Kong can be a hub for the so-called CBCC, China Building Carbon Credit. So do you think any idea how the tech innovations we can register some carbon credit when your hotel or our building can use less energy? Sorry, anyone can.
Probably I will start first, then I don't know whether we have building engineering. Right. Okay. Yes, I think carbon neutrality is a new trend. Not only hotels, but other industries are talking about it as well. So technology certainly can play a role in terms of reducing carbon emissions. Actually, we are working with a robotic hotel from China, Yunji. I think the CEO or the deputy CEO actually is in the audience. Think about it. Actually, using the technology, especially automation, and you will be able to reduce the labor cost and also the cost of other equipment and facilities which consume energy, right? So certainly using new technology, especially AI automation, will reduce the consumption of electricity, water, and so on and so forth. Hong Kong certainly can play a role in terms of carbon neutrality, especially towards carbon neutrality towards 2030, 2050. Actually, one of the research projects we are doing is to measure the carbon emission of the tourism activities, not only hotels, but also taking air travel, stay in the hotels, and also consumption in the tourist attractions, and also transportation, and so on and so forth. With that, actually, we will be able to correctly estimate the carbon emissions as a result of tourism activities. And if we know the carbon emission level, and we will be able to say how far away actually we are from the carbon neutrality in 20 or 30 years' time. And then with this information, we'll be able to provide useful information for the government to establish policies to actually narrow this gap with a view to achieving carbon neutrality. So that is one of the projects RCTTT now is doing.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, I mean, you can ask questions in English, 普通话 or 广东话. So make your life a little bit easier, okay? Oh, there, there's a question there.
Thank you for this question's chance. 我用中文吧。那个还是给那个智能旅游的这位 directors。我是来自设计学院的硕士，然后我们是想问，因为有新技术，具身智能和人工智能技术的介入，因为旅游产业和酒店管理产业其实是一项用户需求引导的产业，然后在这个过程中，因为除了这个社会监听装置之外，您还是否就是考虑使用其他方式来收集用户对于具身智能或者人工智能的需求？然后在这个过程当中，可能因为我是设计学那边来的，您是否考虑 co-creation 的方式来提高用户质量？大概是这样。
谢谢，这是一个很好的问题啊，我用中文回答。
Also,
better English, right?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry. We have some English audience. Yeah. This is actually a very good question. Actually, the mission of our research center is to introduce information technology, 人工智能 AI, and any technology into business operations, especially hotel operations. We are actually working with Yunji, I already mentioned earlier, on a specific research project, is to look at the demand for robots in hotels and how this the use of robots in hotels will reduce the cost, increase efficiency in the hotel, but at the same time, improve the experience of the guests. So these actually are two different things. If you are not doing well, even the technology is advanced, but then if consumer doesn't like it, there will no future. It will not be able to develop. So co-creation obviously is very important in terms of different stakeholders within the hotel industry, and also, you know, with the technology expertise with Yunji, and we actually provide the environment and the operational details so that we can integrate the technology with what we call the software, so that we can develop a system that in the future will revolutionize the hotel industry's operations. Because currently many hotels in Hong Kong still using traditional operation models, or the business models still traditional. They have not been able to integrate any AI or information technology into their operation systems. But we are trying to do this in the future. And so watch the space. We will, create something that will be change the way of business operate.
Okay, thank you for answer. Can I to extend my questions or?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Professor Chen. And because this industry is doing the research progress, and I have maybe as a student, I have the perspective from the researchers. If the consumer cannot accept this, we hope it can be acceptable for every consumer. But if this consumer or a large part of them cannot to accept this service, what can we do? Just to maybe for the designer or the service members in the different in this industry.
So we should avoid those the product and the services that the consumer does not accept, right? So the first thing is to understand the behavior of the tourist. So we need to do market research to see what will be the preferences of future consumers in the tourism hospitality industry. Based on their preferences, then we can design the product and the services which meet their demand, right? So we need to know what they want before what we produce.
Okay, thank you for answer. Thank you, Professor.
All right, any other questions? Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm Christina from an alumni of EDC in the year of 2006. And I'm quite interested in the area of our daily life, for example, health. I wanted to address the questions on the Chinese medicine department. Professor, please. To what extent will AI can play a significant role in Chinese medicine on general public mental health?
Wow.
Thank you.
I need help from
Yeah, that's a question for two of you.
Sorry.
Three.
I try to explain what we are trying to do right now.
Yeah.
In our research center, we are now trying to collaborate with an institution in Australia. We are RMIT. They are actually doing some collaboration on AI. Now, one of the things is that actually there are so much information in the Chinese medicine, even in the research area, and it's so complex. So used to be they use graduate students to take out all the literature and trying to put them together and trying to sort out like a review article. But now they want to use AI technologies to use those key terms. And hopefully we group both from the herbal extract, like the type, how they make it and all
so
that.
many.
Right? And then on the other hand, of course, in the health diagnosis, you know, the Chinese medicine has their own way of doing things like the philosophy and all that. So those terminologies can also be easily using AI technologies to streamline the decision making in a sense that whether that will be effective or not. So this is one of the first projects that we are moving forward at the moment. But we are really excited to move into the AI area because in this old part of knowledge, like the one that I'm showing you, there are so many small compounds in each of the formula. So I think use AI technology would certainly help us to shorten the time to find the mechanisms to target that help us to explain why. For example, the eye is somehow related to the liver. So
Yeah.
this the Chinese philosophy, right? So we need to understand modern science, which the AI will help us to merge the two data sets together. Hopefully can move to the drug development much faster and also diagnostic tool much faster. So that's kind of a very broad area now because it's a very active and very pioneer right now. So we want to find the top collaborators to move forward.
Initial stage. Right?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That will help. Yeah.
Yeah, Sylvia, you might want to us.
Okay. Thank you for your question. It's very interesting, and it actually indicates the interdisciplinary nature of our subjects. For example, Chinese medicine, mental health, and it is, health is an integrated part, not just physical health, but also psychological health. So AI definitely plays an important role in our research and also in intervention, in treatment, in diagnosis. It can help us achieve precision care. It's, not one medicine, one type of treatment for everyone. And we can also integrate Chinese medicine because the traditional Chinese approaches have benefits on emotional regulation. So we can integrate different components like technology, psychology, psychiatry, and occupational therapy and different disciplines. And that's what our center and our institute is trying to do.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. For the interest of time, I think we should have a break. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the speakers for their wonderful presentation, and also for people who ask questions, and also for your attendance, because this really, give us very good feedback. So we'll have a break until 3:20. Then we'll switch to the second topic, the technologies in AI and modern era. Okay, we'll come back later. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. In the following sections, we got 8 presentations. 8, right? 6 RIs, 7. Oh, okay, 6 or 7, 7 or 8, doesn't matter. So each one will, for the RIs, we've got 8 minutes, and then an egg will be thrown on you if you don't stop. So we have to stick to the point, please. And after all the presentations, then we will have a general discussion. Okay, so according to the timetable, it's 3:20, and now it's 3:23 now. So I think we shall start right at the beginning, right? So the first one is George Wong, Professor George Wong, he's the Director of Research Institute of Advanced Manufacturing. George, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Professor Mang. Okay, I'm George Wang from ISE department. So my area is smart manufacturing. So I will first introduce the institute. It was established 4 years ago, and our founding director was Professor Mang. I just take over this May. Okay. Right. First of all, I will introduce, give an overview of the research institute first. All right. So the institute basically has 4 or 5 research areas, focus area. Upper left is the advanced manufacturing technology. Okay, nano micro manufacturing. Upper right, smart manufacturing, including logistics as well. Okay, and also lower right, operations analytics to more related to business school. And then we have a carbon neutrality or sustainable manufacturing 4 or 5 area. Okay. Right. So I will also take this opportunity to attract more members from within the university to join the institute. So we offer a few category of fundings to our colleagues, and we also invite alumni to join the institute. I'm very pleased to share with you, we have established 2 joint research labs with a company. So each is like a 10 million from the company. Okay, and I think one of them is here today. We probably should be able to get another 1 or 2 this year or next year. So basically it's a 5 million to 10 million for the joint lab. Okay. For internal fundings, we have a critical mass strategic funding. It's basically 1.5 million for 3 years, but the condition is you need to submit major research grants like TRS or CRF, something like that. And then we also have matching incentive, that part. Okay. And this diagonal direction, exploration fund is a high risk exploratory research, or someone wanted to initiate a really challenging new research direction. So we call it exploration fund. And then the impact fund, someone wants to start company, big impact initiatives. So we will also support. Okay, right now come to smart manufacturing, because the topic is AI and in technologies and modern era. So this diagram shows actually industry 3.0. It's not new, okay, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, the topic. Now, the 2 set of technology made industry 3.0 successful is, one is computer integrated manufacturing technology. It's a fusion of a number of technologies like CAD, CAM, ERP, MES, all those technologies. One critical technology is for industrial automation enabled by PLC. Okay, this is a very, very important critical technology. Now, let's move to industry 4.0 smart manufacturing, which is one of the most important focus area in the research institute. Okay, by analogy, okay, so industry 3.0 automation was very, very important or essential. But for industry 4.0, digitization is most important, okay, create cyber-physical systems. Now, what is the technology, underlying technology, enable digitization? So far, digitization is an art, not a science. Okay, everybody is doing it in different way. So we are trying to identify and establish a science of digitization. Okay, so we call it technological fishing for industry 4.0. Now for industry 4.0 fusion technologies, we have quite a number of colleagues in the institute developing 3D printing, Internet of Things, cyber-physical system, digital twin, okay, robotics, automation, we have them. But we still need to establish one core technology for digitization. So one of the initiatives we are doing is we call it computer for digital twins. So we hope in the next 3 years, we can develop a new type of computer, which just like a PLC, but not only compute the data, but also compute man-machine material involved in factories. Okay, so we have the cyber physical twins. Okay, the computer will manage all of them. So hopefully the technology will become the most important technology, just like a PLC, to enable industry 4.0. Okay, so we we are doing this, but we haven't, we plan to do this, okay? We submitted the AOE proposal this year. Basically, the ultimate objective is to develop the cyber-physical controller or cyber-physical computer, okay? That will be underlying technology for industry 4.0. So we will again involve 4 areas. The first one is metaverse, manufacturing metaverse, the factory metaverse. The dream is to develop something like Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is a metaverse, okay? So we develop a Pokemon Go type factory. Okay, that's a manufacturing metaverse. Then we have manufacturing entanglement is to establish the dynamic real-time relationships between man-machine materials, okay? So especially in cyber-physical spaces. And then we will have develop a special computers board, electronic integrated board, we call it factory on chips, okay? And finally, we will link all these computers to the large model. So we have the industrial large model, and then the edge computer, which is cyber-physical computers for the factory. And then we have the end computing devices. So 3 layers of technology enabled by cyber-physical computers. Hopefully, colleagues within the university and outside the university from the industry, we can work together to achieve this objective. Thank you so much.
Thank you, George. Next one is Professor Chow, AIoT.
Okay, good afternoon. So I'm from the Research Institute on Artificial Intelligence of the Things. And everyone knows that as the large number of sensors deployed for IoT, so have huge amount of data generated. And then the IoT data collection and also processing becomes a problem. So as advance of AI technologies, so there's the emerging convergence of AI and also IoT. So this comes from for the term called AIoT in the past several years. So AIoT actually is a combination for AI and IoT technologies. Actually, it's a transformational technology for IoT. It transforms IoT from only data collection, sharing, to the discovery of the knowledge from the huge amount of data. And then you will be able to do the prediction and also diagnosis and also smart decision making. And then 3 years ago, so we actually set up this research institute on AIoT at PolyU, and this is a cross-campus platform. So we have over 40 staff members from over 18 or 20 even now departments working together on different aspects of the AIoT. And on the left-hand side is our research areas. It's covered from very bottom sensing and networking, and then to the platforms like blockchain, Web3, IoT security, and then to big data analytics and AI, and also robotics, and also now digital twins and simulations. And we focus on 4 different application areas: smart infrastructure, and connected health, connected vehicles, and also smart logics. On the right-hand side actually are the labs also associated with our research institute. They're also directed by different members of our research institute. And in particular, actually, we have Internet Mobile Computing. We have also a joint center with Hansen Robotics for the Center for Humanistic AI and also robotics. And then in the past years, we have been doing research. The first one is on the big data analytics for resource management, optimization, and also prediction. So we have a project with Hong Kong Airport for airport resource management, and mostly predicting the arrival of the airplanes and also the packages, the customers, and then how can we actually locate resources of the airport for optimize the users' experiences and also the efficiency of the operations. And we are also working with transportation, with GoGo1 in Hong Kong, for example, for intelligent scheduling of the on-demand calls. And we work on the healthcare, big data analytics, and more recently work with the Hong Kong Jockey Club for the schools student performance analysis. And recently, as we know, cloud computing is not adequate for advanced IoT applications because of a huge amount of data. It cannot transmit all the data to the central cloud. So now we actually see the emergence of edge computing. So you push resources computing from the central cloud to the end of the network. So this is called edge computing. And then recently we see also AI performed on the edge. So it's called edge AI. So recently we have been focusing most of our research on the edge AI research. And in the edge AI applications, we have been working with different sectors. For example, we use low-cost sensing technology together with AI models for the food safety detection, quality monitoring. We also work with hospitals for using edge AI for monitoring the patients' behaviors, for monitoring logistics in the intensive unit in the hospital. And more recently, we have been using edge AI for a new paradigm of robotics. So we make the robots more intelligent and autonomous, okay, in making the decisions. So we invented this called PAP robots carrying the AI models, and automatically it can detect the defects, okay, without human intervention. And now we see even more advanced application, AIoT applications, smart city applications like autonomous driving, Industry 4.0, just like Georgie said, and the metaverse, and also now we see the large language models. So how can we implement large language model on the edge devices, for example? Okay, now all those applications have a higher requirements, like more computing power, ultra low processing latency, larger scale deployment, more powerful AI support. So how can we actually advance edge computing, edge AI technologies? So recently we work on this called collaborative edge computing or collaborative edge AI. So what is collaborative edge AI? It's a new paradigm actually we proposed. We have edge computing nodes together. They are form a network, sharing resources and collaborate to support large scale computations, in particular large language models. Okay, so actually we share the individual edge nodes and then form a more computing power platform. And then you can see we have different edge nodes, different edge sublets, they link together, they can connect to multiple clouds, not only single cloud. And then we have different research components or algorithm for optimization of sharing resources, allocation of the large language models to the different edge nodes. And then we have different kind of applications. So recently you can see, in particular, this large-scale real-time video analytics for safety and surveillance. And we have been deploying our collaborative edge AI platform cross campus in PolyU, monitoring the building, monitoring the people movement, and for energy, and also for the campus management. We have been using the collaborative edge AI for implementing digital twins and the metaverse to map the physical environment to the virtual cyberspace. And also we have been working using collaborative edge AI platform to implement large language models. So now we will be able to use just like 10 edge nodes to implement a full version of Llama 2, which is open source large language model, 70B parameters. And on top of large language model, we'll be able to implement a personalized chatbot. So that can be used for education, for hospital, and for many different sectors. So in moving this collaborative edge AI, we also actually work on decentralized AI. Means what? Everyone can contribute to your computing power. If you have your GPU, you can contribute. And then we will form this is called a Web3 platform. And then we will actually share your computing sources, share your large language model, and then we pay you, okay, incentives. So this is in line with Hong Kong government's pushing of the Web3 technology. So we have been actually implementing the prototype, and then actually we'll work on this application. And this Web3 platform is built on our own customized blockchain technology. So we have been developing this called a polychain technology. And then you can use this for different applications like green coin used in campus for the sustainability, etc. Okay, thank you very much.
Good timing. Thank you. And our next speaker is the Director of Research Institute for Eyewear, Professor Tao. Oh, we got this new guy, our Vice President Research and Innovation, and he's going to give a 1-hour speech. Okay. Yeah. 啊？有拍照吗？有拍照，这个时间就不算了啊。谁人拍照？坐在哪里拍照？
我哋不如坐佢中間啲啊，一齊。
今日嚟撐呢場啊！我同你標，我同你標。
嗱，我哋盡量坐近中間啲咁先影到你啊！
Next one. Next stop. Okay, I'm Xiangdong Tao from Institute of Research Institute for Intelligent Wearable System. And probably I just quickly, for people interested, to explain what do we do. We are looking into a system that combine many technology mentioned earlier to put something on human or on machine, on building that can be wear on them and take away. Okay, and the feature, I think our previous speaker already said, only thing difference is wearable. Okay. Now, this is an emerging quick, very fast area in terms of research and in terms of industrial application. Quite exciting. And our research institute have 48 academic staff from 16 departments, and we have secured quite a number of funding. And we have 3 major things. One is a system. We start from system, looking at a major impact for application, then go back to see what kind of devices, what kind of technology we need. And if necessary, we go further to material synthesis, even design. Okay, that is probably slightly different from previous speaker. And in the last years, we have 3 major research projects secured by member of this institute. I'm very pleased with that. And we also established a research center in Qingyan Research, PolyU Qingyan Research Institute. And we have quite a lot of activity trying to link with a major industry there. And this is a patent. Sorry about these busy slides. And we actually, this research institute, you can see our setup is looking at a major application first. Therefore, the impact is something we put on our mind all the time. And we have developed the first of kind of portable RCT treatment system. This has been used by Hong Kong Hong Kong Sports Institute by the athletes after their training for fast recovery. And this is something we integrate with microelectronics, and then, sorry, microelectronics, and that can actually have multimedia functions on piece of fabric. Sorry, go back. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, cannot, right, you cannot see the, sorry, it doesn't work. And but you have to take my words. That piece of fabric can see, can you touch it, can speak, and you can switch, put on a lot of things. And this is something you can display. And this one, you can have animation and sound and speech. Then we integrate together as a soft robotics that can talk to people and let people to interaction with them. And also several robotics can work together, play games and all these things. Okay. Yeah, cannot. Yeah. And of course, we linked with the industry, with not only industry, we linked with a lot of institutions like a Sport Institute. This is a nursing home. We work with our health faculty colleagues a lot. Actually, we do quite a lot of trying their settings. Okay, our members, I'm very pleased to report they have a lot of awards, and we're very proud of this group of people. And here is how you contact us if we are interested. Okay, thank you.
You still got 3 minutes. This is the bonus for the next one. Next one, I think, is Li Chao. Yeah, Professor Li, you got 12 minutes.
12 minutes, okay. I'll try to save some time for the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm Lu Chao from the Photonic Research Institute. So basically, I try to explain what is photonic. Essentially, photonic is the science and technology controlling and detecting light. Okay. So obviously, it have many applications in many different areas. Okay, in telecom, in medicine, manufacturing, consumer electronic, as well as environmental monitoring. Okay, so in the institute, we focus on 5 different aspects of photonics. Okay, so we work on some fundamental materials as well as try to understand and how the photonic system works. And also we try to, through the understanding, try to make some photonic devices which can play different functions. Okay. One important application for photonics is sensing. Okay, so we can use light to detect the variation of some physical parameters like temperature, strength, pressure. It can also be used to detect some chemical change, like different kind of a gas, right, and so on. Okay, then so that's one. Then the laser spectroscopy is mainly using the spectrum light, try to detect like a different chemical element. Okay. Another very important application of photonics is in communication. Okay. Nowadays, I think we use the internet, we use data centers. So all these connectivities, they are provided by light. Okay. To give you some ideas what we have been doing, I think I'll try to give you some of the examples that photonics can be used in different areas. One is the first one is in medical. Okay, so that one is one of the examples done by one of the members of using this optical fiber-based sensor to help the cochlear implant. Okay, because the cochlear implant is very important to help the healing or healing of some people have a hearing impairment. Okay, so with the cochlear implant, you can actually help people to restore this hearing ability. But one important constraint that if you do not precisely put into the right position, then the effectiveness is extremely, it will be significantly compromised. Okay, so optical fiber actually can allow you to determine the position of your electrode. At the same time, you can sense a force when you try to do the operation. So it's actually, so that's why it's actually working with the inventor of this cochlear implant at the University of Melbourne, as well as the associated company. Okay. So another one is use this optical fiber to monitor the growth of the bones. Okay, when you are injured yourself, and the recovery typically is a long process. Okay, so how the things recovered, I think if you can monitor, then certainly it will be very helpful. Okay, photonics actually also play a very important part in imaging. Okay, there's in particular this so-called photoacoustic imaging. So essentially, like a different molecules absorb different light. Okay, when you absorb light, actually it expands, so it generates acoustic wave. So this acoustic wave actually allow you to provide the imaging of the brain and the other things like blood flow and so on. Okay, so so this one is one of the work by one of the PI members. Okay, as I said, photonics actually also is an important technology as a backbone to provide the huge amount of connectivity, okay, for long distance communication as well as data center. Okay, so over the years, I think we have worked with various industries to provide the technology for high speed connections, as well as I think that's why it's one of the work by the colleague on using this AI, I think, to predict the operation of the data center optical network, okay, to make sure that it will your work properly. Okay. Then optical fiber sensing have also been used in various different areas like transportation, like monitoring of huge structures like bridge, railways, as well as I think we have some work of using the fiber to monitor the water pipes, okay, as well as some of the health monitoring. Okay, and recently I think the optical fiber actually have also been used to provide some to monitor the operation of battery, okay, because the battery operation is very difficult to measure the internal operation inside the battery. Okay, most of the electronic sensor will not work. Okay, so so using this optical fiber sensor, you can actually have a better understanding of the operation of the battery, okay, by measuring the pressure, the temperature, as well as recently defined by Professor Jin Wei of monitoring, because whenever there's a chemical reaction in the battery, you will generate a gas. Okay, so monitoring different gas okay, then you will be able to have a better understand the operation of the battery. Okay, so then prevent some of to make sure that the battery will work safely. Okay, so there's many other things. I think that's why the work. I think if you go to the PI stand, you can see that's why the compound ice. Okay, so essentially you'll have you potentially have many different application. Okay, so that's the member of the PRI, then research facility. So essentially, we welcome, I think, the colleagues in the university as well as the industrial potential industrial partners to work with us in this particular photonic area. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Professor Liu, IQT, Quantum Technology.
Hello. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor Mann. And I'm Qingyan Liu, is from PolyU. I represent of this new research institute, quantum technology. Actually, this institute just on the board of just one month, very new. So that we also have the 4 different research area. The first one is the quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum metrology, and quantum machine learning. So today, and I focus on this quantum computer. All right. And Professor Cao and George also mentioned currently the computation is one the big challenge. And even if on traditional computation and model computer science, either of the bank and medicine and other application, the computer power still is a challenge. But today is artificial intelligence periods, and they need a lot of computer. You want to accuracy, you should need a lot of computation power. But if you need a computation power, then you can see, and you need more energy. You need more energy. You need have a lot of pollution problem. So you can see that this challenge. If you want to solve this problem, you should be looking for basic science, basic and algorithm and basic method. During this problem, the computer use quantum superposition theory and quantum entanglement. This is another new concept, new generation of quantum computer. For example, if quantum computer can meet around 50 cubic, this computation power is meet of the Yinhe, all of this is a supercomputer and area. If you want to looking for this kind of computation problem of graphy, then you can use a quantum computer easily to solve. Save the energy, take the small and computation time. So this is and what's the advantage future of a quantum computer? So far, the quantum computer is too new and haven't go into the manufacture and the production in the market. Still in this research periods, currently they have the 3 track, 3 different approach. One is ion track, another one is supercomputer material, another one is use semiconductor technology approach of quantum microprocessor. For the quantum, for this and the ion track technology, this technology can provide a very high accuracy of quantum computer, but the big problem is this quantum computer is small cubic. Quantum computer is not a laptop. Quantum computer is my friend. and it's a supercomputer technology. So this quantum computer, the big challenge, you should be make large scale of qubit. If you don't solve this problem, the quantum computer becomes zero. Another technology is a superconductor technology. Google, IBM, they're also working on this direction, use the superconductor material make the quantum chip. But still have the challenge. The challenge is this computer is a poor accuracy. So this is another, and you can see the two of different approach, and still have the, this is trouble on in this, if you want to quantum computer become the marketing product. Semiconductor technology is one approach. This is and they can high accuracy, large integration technology. They also can be and parallel with currently quantum technology, computation technology is same. So you can see the market, the investment, the quantum computer, the hardware, this quantum computer, there is a majority quantum and software also is a very important propel this one. This is the two major investment at this moment. But the problem is still there. And if you want to quantum computer become a successful technology in the tomorrow, you should be solve the quantum computer can be make large scale. There should be more than 500 qubit, 1,000 qubit, and this is one challenge. The accuracy and the fidelity is another problem, and make sure the quantum computer is a high speed. This is a third problem. So the basic on this one, we use semiconductor technology. We design the different component. We can try to integration all of the component in the silicon substrate, the wafer fab technology that make the chip. This is what we are approach in this PolyU. This is we are built up the first quantum computer. This is the chip. You can see this is 16 qubit of the chip. And the chip is driving by this laser and the connection detector of the photon, count the number. We also use wafer fab of this chip. The chip also and is available in this lab now. So this is first chip in Hong Kong. This also is a demonstration by and PolyU of this quantum microprocessor. We also use this chip, use this microprocessor. We try to simulate of a graphic problem. This is one the headache and hard problem of for the computer science. And we also can get the very quite good result and compare with traditional mainframe computer. Use this quantum new algorithm and method. The second problem is this molecule simulation. You know the chemical, they want to design the new material. And before they design the new material, they need to conduct this and the structure of the molecule and the submit of this and this model to the supercomputer, simulate of this result, also detect of measure of this material property, make sure the model can be and is working very well. Based on this good model, we can design the new material and the new product, for example, and a drug. So this also is a very important technology. We use this one. We are first time demonstrating the largest structure of this the molecule use this quantum microprocessor. This is my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.
Amazing, actually. I thought I need to get your mic. You're amazing. Wu, please. And the next speaker is the Deep Space Center.
Okay, good afternoon. So we have just saw a lot of exciting and wonderful research and developments going on Earth. Okay, so here we want also look at the space. We want to study the planets so that we can also better understand our Earth and the future development of our Earth. So this is what we are doing here. I'm come from the Deep Space Exploration Research Center. So this research center, we have been work on, these different space missions starting from over 20 years ago. We involved in like a lot of ESA's missions, space missions from the Europe. And the latest one is this one related to the Jupiter exploration. Want to search for life in one of the moon of the Jupiter system called Europa. So Professor Qingyan, who is the director of this center, successfully worked with the Swedish space agency, developed some payload to help explore this Europa mission. While we also actively involved in the Chinese missions starting from 2013, almost 12 years ago. So we worked on the Chang'e 3 mission, Chang'e 4, Chang'e 5, and the latest Chang'e 6 missions. Both myself and Professor Yong, we helped the Chinese missions to get a success for the lunar landing and zamponing, etc. So we also worked on the Mars mission. This is the first Chinese mission to Mars. I will share with you some of the examples here. So like this one, this is the system called camera pointing and positioning system on board the Chang'e 3 and the Chang'e 4 lander. So control the camera to take photographs of the lunar surface. So this is the first instrument equipment produced by Hong Kong on board the lunar missions. And we also, myself, we helped the mission to identify, for example, the landing site of Chang'e 3 on the moon. So if you have a very good eye in the evening, okay, you can look at this called sinus iridum, this loop shape here. You can recognize this place. Then you can aware that at the east part of this place, there is a Chinese rover still going there, collect the data, okay? And the Chang'e 4 mission is the first mission to the lunar far side. We also helped to identify, mapping, analysis the landing site of this mission. Professor Yong's team helped develop such a surface sampling and packing system to collect the soil samples from the lunar surface. So the Chang'e 5 mission are already like 3 years ago, and the recent one is the Chang'e 6. So we help the nation collected about 2 kilogram soil samples from the lunar surface. While we also helped to identify the landing site of the Chang'e 5 mission. And this one is the first Chinese mission to Mars. The US government, they spent 30 years from the 1970s to complete like orbiting, landing, and moving on the Martian surface. While the Chinese Tianwen-1 mission is the first one, completed these 3 steps in one go. So we achieved this task within 10 years. And my team also helped the identification and selection of this Tianwen-1 mission. And we also helped the mission to develop such a camera by Professor Yun's team, okay, to monitor the surrounding environment of the Martian surface, and more importantly, the Mars rover, called the Zhurun rover, how it moved down from the lander to the Martian surface. So this helped the mission, the contribution from the PolyU we involved in this Mars mission. And currently, we are studying the lunar soil in our laboratory. So we have such a space research laboratory on campus. You are welcome to take a look if you get time. So we developed a very advanced equipment to analyze the soil samples collected from the Chang'e 5 mission. So here we have about 400 milligram lunar soil samples collected by the Chang'e 5 mission. Also, it's very little, but we want to start big problems. For example, we want to search for water in the lunar soil so that we can identify and where are the water come from and how much water in total available can support future habitation missions on the moon. So with this, I want to thank you for your concern and support to our previous missions, and hopefully we can have continuous support from the society, from you, to these space missions. Thank you very much.
Speaker of this section is Dr. Tracy Mock, RCTFF. I don't know what that is.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my great honor to be here today to present the Research Center of Test Out for Future Faction. So you heard about the period exciting presentation starting from Professor George Huang from manufacturing to edge computing, quantum computing, and then so we back to and also to the space and back to Earth. So the Research Center for Test Out for Future Faction have been established roughly around slightly more than 1 year. We actually collaborate and then gather interdisciplinary expert in different areas within the PolyU community. We want to serve particularly for fashion and textile because it's one of the pillar industry in Hong Kong. And we focus on, overall development from material science, design, and also digital technology, as well as the manufacturing. We try to address those problems related to our human healthcare, well-being, provide better protection, performance, and also more sustainable. You can see every project possibly we hope to integrate design, technology, as well as business. And we are quite focused on product, okay? High technology, high value added product. We also want to focus on technology transfer. After 1 year of establishment, we have around 17 internal projects and 8 external funded projects. And our research mainly focus on material and technology. Another area will be design. Design thinking can be applied in product as well as process, design and innovation, and life cycle management. That is overall a more sustainable system. So because we have a large number of projects ongoing, I just select 2 of them possibly to share with you with limited time. One of the projects actually is a collaboration between Professor Albert Chen from BRE and also Professor Fan and myself, because Hong Kong construction industry is a huge economic contributor, and a lot of people are working in the industry, but however they have a key challenge. Our construction worker, the leader, they are actually getting old and old. But when you walk around the campus right now, it's October, end of October, the temperature is more than 30 degrees, and our construction worker would need to work, under the sun, outdoor. So it's a huge challenge how to provide them a better, workwear then actually then can sustain them, have longer service and more more protection. And this is the initiative of the project. And we take advantage of the material development. We have new material, especially provided developed for our construction worker. Not only they can evaporate better and also provide more comfort, and also the most advanced technology under the sun, you still feel not as hot, as you can lower the surface temperature. And this is not just a material science. We develop in a whole production area. We provide product. We also make sure the process we propose sustainable. It means quite easy to produce, and more we can use recycled material as well. And also the material can be the whole process. We suggest to the CIC how to govern the production of this functional workwear for our construction worker. Another project, we are also collaborating with Hong Kong Sports Institute and also the Jockey Club. They want to provide, work with some sports gear to help our athlete, our sports star to excel, to perform better in the international competition. It's luckily this project chaired by Professor Fan actually worked with 2 gold medal winning team, windsurfing as well as fencing. The 2 sports actually face 2 different kinds of challenge. One, you need to in different area, you outdoor, you in different weather conditions. Sometimes when you sport, you get hot, but sometimes you need in a cold winter, you still need to have that competition. So how to provide them more protection, have them improve the performance. Another one, indoor. We think if you feel really hot, then you will, affect your response time. So the actual product have not been, we are not allowed to show, but you can see we compare, take advantage of the material, the product development, how to provide our sports star better protection, and then to improve their comfort in the competition and training. Okay, I think that's all for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's time for us to invite our speakers over there, and we're happy to receive questions from the audience.
Thank you, Professor. I have questions about I'm a research assistant of MCR lab in PolyU, and I have a question I want to ask Professor Cao. I see the great power of collaborative AI in your talk. So I also see some research in transportation system. So I want to ask Professor, could you share some insights of autonomous vehicle, how collaborative AI play a role in the transportation system, and how it will influence the future of autonomous vehicles? Thank you.
It's supposed to be a research topic. He's my student.
You won't have a chance to graduate in 5 years.
I'll talk to you later. Well, you know, autonomous driving definitely need HAI support. So all the autonomous vehicles need to cooperate, for example. And then before, so far we are talking about mostly intelligent vehicle for single vehicle, but in the future, when we have multiple vehicles, and then when we have mix of autonomous vehicle with human drivers, then how can we cooperate? And that need a lot of AI support. So still open area. And this actual area I suggest you to investigate. So you cannot put the question back to me.
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, please. Over there, over there.
Hi, me again, Yiping from Greater Bay Area Carbon Neutrality Association. I would like to ask about the green computing power. So do you need this, as you say that we are wasting a lot of energy and get the pollution because we have a very high power computing power for the Bitcoin, and there's the compared to the Pakistan, the whole country emission. So our country, they will have some green computing power center in the northwest provinces, just like Xinjiang. They can provide the green computing power to PolyU, but it's a little delay. Is there any plan for you to cooperate with our country? We have already some inexpensive and also green computing power to serve your institution?
I think that this is a little bit of misunderstanding. And when you want to the model, the simulation, more accuracy, for example, the artificial intelligence computing time is a power should be taken more and more. This is the challenge. So far, and set up a lot of data center. But if you set up a lot of data center, then you need a lot of the power station. So that you want to computation power higher and a relay power and also increase. But the problem is the simulation model. So far we use all of this microprocessor is binary. Binary means is 0, 1, 0, 1. So they use this and binary equation to simulate of this current problem. But the quantum computing is the difference. Quantum computing is the unbinary and the multi-dimension. So they easily to make complete and the simulation model problem become small problem, reduce and computation power. So this is the key problem. So we should be looking for new generation and the simulation model on binary use a new generation of computation device. Then we can totally reduce computation time, solve this pollution problem and power problem.
And less pollution, not
Yes,
solve.
yes.
Thank you.
Go, you understand what he says, right? Amazing. Right, it's beyond my level. Right. One more question and then we start discussing.
Thank you for catering me for the extra question. I actually is a PhD student from PolyU, and then I have a question especially for Professor Cao and Professor Tao. So I'm now working with a startup that is working on the medical devices, trying to cater for the breast cancer side effects. So I think what Professor Tao just said is the artificial intelligence of things. So and the edge AI computing. So how do you think that how far it is from implementing this kind of AIoT into medical devices and integrating into wearable technologies as part of the medical device development to as the Hong Kong government just announced in the policy address that a medical device is going to have a being accelerated in Hong Kong. So what do you think about this kind of implementation and fusion? Thank you.
I think it's a very good question, and AI for medicine now is a very hot area, and most people using a lot of imaging and other kind of sensing technologies to detect or to analyze or to learn to train the AI model for detecting cancer, for example. But still, if this can be done only in hospital or in medical center, it's still not very convenient, especially for remote areas. Now with edge AI, then it will be possible to train the model and deploy it on the edge devices. Edge device can be a medical devices, okay, for example. And then this can be portable and can be used in family. And then maybe more convenient for patients to monitor and then, or even for most of us to detect. Actually, many research going on for personalized healthcare using edge AI. And exactly what actually you mentioned about, but it's still an area that need a lot of collaboration between the medical practitioners and also AI researchers. And for wearable,
yeah, maybe I supplement. In our institute, we actually working on edge computing sensors.
That means the sensor has a memory, has a capacitor to do calculations. So once you know the AI model is established, you can incorporate those in the hardware. So the whole thing can become very small and can be put into clothing or put into wearable devices. But that probably put into application a little bit still need some research. Yeah.
Thank you for your enlightening answer. Thank you.
Can I integrate what they said and translate into something you can understand? One day, she will design some sort of clothing with all the sensors, edge computing sensors, the where that you go, and all the deep learning on your body signals through the quantum computer, and go to the hospital. The doctor will decide whether you got a cancer or not, without going through these MRI, CT, whatever. But the technique is how to manufacture that clothes. So our IAM is doing all this with the photonic sensors transmitting all those signals. This is the beauty of all these institutes. That is your question, right? We all understand that our future depends on these guys' development. Right, any burning questions? Yes, I see over there.
Earlier, the presenter talked about clothing. I went to UK for 3 weeks in September, and suddenly I felt very cold. And then I observed the London people, all of them wearing bulky coats, very bulky. So for this, I'm so cold, I have to buy a thick coat. But can I ask the thickness of the cloth? Can it be designed with? So my simple question as a user is, I still want a very thin cloth, but I want it to be very, very, warm. And I have no demand on whatever, but I still want to have a very a thin coat. I don't want bulky. It's so bulky, and then you can see in London, they all with the luggages and the bulky clothes. I want a very, very thin cloth, very, very warm. I don't know whether it can generate heat. I don't know.
Okay, thank you for your question. I think that is why everyone wear clothes. We have we situate in different part of the the globe, and then we have different weather. We have different requirement along the day. We have temperature change. Yes, we do have this kind of and it's an ongoing research, I believe, over the years already. And definitely, if you look at, a lot of, even commercial brands, they are developing, keep thin, but keep you warm when you need it. Not always will, you will feel sometimes not in the right temperature. You wear this, really keep you sweat a lot and then feel really hot. It's included, so it's available, and also is still also being developed, ongoing effort. Yes, thank you.
In a few years' time, our other research institute in battery technology, they will develop a little battery and heat up the resistant wire around your body, and you get warm, right? So that's coming. That technology is coming. Right. Can I ask them some questions? No. You have a question? Oh, okay. Right.
Sorry, I just trying to supplement the gentleman's question. Actually, there's a clothing called smart clothing that will change with climate change. And a lot of research is going on. Some products already being commercialized. For thin clothes, if we just use it for winter, that's already available because heat transfer 3 routes: radiation, conduction, convection. So we normally use conduction. You need a thicker clothes, uses still air in it. But if you have something, very thin layer of fabric or film coated with metal, that will reflect back the heat. So your clothes become very thin. That has been used in army quite a long time ago, already there. And but if you want a dual climate, then that problem, it becomes complex. So need more research in that area. Thank you.
Right, I asked a question that a lot of you probably would like to ask. We have seen a lot of films and sci-fi, science fiction films, and all these terrible alien films. Especially the world is getting warmer, all the bugs coming out from the permafrost, right? A lot of germs, a lot of virus coming out. And now you are going to take some Earth from outside space, from the moon, and come back to put in the lab. Would there be any possibility that there are some germs and then one day an alien will come out from your lab?
Thank you, Professor Mo. This is a very interesting question. We probably watched too much movie, scientific fictions, regarding this aliens, this problem, But I would say those samples collected back from the moon should be safe, okay? Because the moon is already a dead planet and no biosignature as far as we can see for the time being. Well, indeed, this is a concern of the different governments like US or China. For example, those samples collected back from the asteroids, or the Tianwen-3 mission. China is going to collect some samples back from Mars with the purpose of searching for life signatures there. Then there could be some possibility. There might be some bacteria or whatever biosignatures inside the samples. But no worry too much, because the government, they already set up a very strict protection protocol to ensure those type of leaking or dangerous things will not happen. So we have a lot of discussion ongoing on this as well. Thank you.
Good timing. We just got 6 seconds left. I think we should give a round of applause to our speakers. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks a lot, colleagues.
Okay, good afternoon again. And we need to starting our last session for the Pairs Research Institute and Research Center. So I'm Xiangdong Li from the Faculty of Construction and Environment, but also I was I'm the director for the Research Institute for Sustainable Urban Development, RISUD. But anyway, I was not talking about today. I was actually moderate a session, the last session. The session in the last one and same as our sustainability and urban development. Okay, so we all know is whatever is a very exciting long day, but I would say it's also a hot day. The hot day compare is our temperature is hot. If you're reading the local news today in Hong Kong, the temperature today is 33.6. Is in our record for 85 years. This is the latest, almost about 19th of October. We still record a day of 33.6. Hot day. That's one of our really temperature hot day. But also, we have quite a leading topic from our 3 institutes and 1 research center to actually give you there's a current research on hot topic. So it's very exciting to see how this 4 research institute and 1 research center all within the Faculty of Construction Environment. One of the central theme is how we actually for tomorrow's cities, tomorrow our life, and in this kind of a challenge, climate change.
So in this particular like occasion, I would acknowledge the generous support from engineer Dr. Otto Poon, who is actually in our audience. And can we actually, Dr. Poon, please read to let people know. Dr. Poon have given our general donation to PolyU to set up 2 institutes where you're going to see our 2 director give about the talk, one on smart city, another one on smart energy. But I just want to, anyway, before our official announcement, and like Dr. Poon actually already have getting a plan to setting another institute on climate resilient infrastructure. So we're going to have a official launch probably in a couple of weeks' time. So we keep you informed. We also have another kind of an independent research institute for climate resilient infrastructure, for particular for our urban, whatever, for this typhoon or flooding and other way. Okay, I think in my introduction a bit of a long, I would really starting our first topic. Professor Jianlei Niu is associate director for this Otto Poon's Smart City Research Institute. Dr. Niu, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Professor Lee, and thank you, Mr. Otto Poon, for your attendance. It is giving me my great honor and pleasure to brief this one of the research institute supported by the foundation from Mr. Otto Poon. I also send my apology from the director, Dr. Jiang Shi, who cannot be here today. I'm the associate director of the research institute. Oops, I have a technical. I will brief the coverage of the technical coverage of the institute. We try to be a world leader in geoinformatics, and we try to serve our community with the cutting edge smart city technologies we develop. Technically, we have 6 technical areas. We try to provide smart mobility using 3D mobile mapping technology, both in unmanned vehicle and in, say, pedestrian navigation. We try to make our city more livable in guiding our navigation, but also in optimizing our thermal environment. As pointed out by Dr. Lee, we are experiencing more and more heat waves in big cities, and that going to be one of the objectives of our study. Again, this is interdisciplinary, one of the interdisciplinary research institute under the director, Professor CHEN, our pair director, and which colleagues coming from 5 different faculties and over 10 different departments. We are very proud to say that over the years we have attracted quite a number of major fundings, which allow us to explore our technology development in the different areas. I just wish to highlight one of the research that which is about the thermal climate of big cities. By LOCs, we mean localized comfort hubs in the outdoor space. We can implement new technologies in the planning and design stage. But by those technologies, we can design buildings which is not only comfortable indoors with our air conditioning technology, but we also try to provide a design that makes outdoor space more comfortable, more enjoyable. Like many of us may have experienced in this campus, we have many spots where you feel always comfortable, even on a very hot day like this today. And that is, we try to generalize such a design in our practice using new technologies. Because time, I wouldn't go into detail of all these projects. I hope that you have idea that supported by the fundamental research in geoinformatics and in computer simulation and in AI, we are able to address a wide range of social and real life problems. Here are the pictures showing a few labs where we undertake our research. Here are a few more, and they cover quite a wide range of facilities. I'm also proud to announce that over the years, we have won many awards, international and local, and which is an indicator of high-level research. For the sake of time, I will quickly go through some of the major technologies and potential applications of our research. This is one of the theme I mentioned earlier, which is to try to create localized outdoor comfort hubs in a city, in a high-density city. With these few pictures, I try to highlight the major idea of this research. We live in this high-density city, and our local environment, where you walk on the street, will be affected by many factors. Now, our research will be able to capture the terrain effect of the surrounding hills and the breeze from the sea, and then accurately predict what you feel when you walk on a particular spot in a city. And using state-of-art of the technology, we are able to simulate the ground level wind down to our pedestrian level. And then we are able to optimize the building layout and even the tree plantation, so that in the place where we wish to have let's say children playground, we want to have a small park where our elderly can exercise some can do some morning exercises. The environment can be the best by combining the wind and shading and the let's say the ground level radiation. So that is one of the major research of this institute. And happily, we are also supported by the Research Grant Council of Government. The project now is halfway, and at the end, we are trying to see where we can demonstrate such engineering analysis technique in our actual say community development in the neighborhood scale. So this is one of the major research we are undertaking. A special technique is the mobile mapping to digitalize our city, so that within the computer system we can have the whole city in a virtual environment. And there are a lot of potential applications which I wouldn't go into the detail. I quickly show you what you can have. This is a photorealistic 3D modeling of a neighborhood, which is generated by the mobile mapping system, which is shown on the right lower corner. By using such mobile mapping technique, basically we can digitalize our city at every corner fairly efficiently and effectively. And there are a lot of potential applications which I wouldn't elaborate at this point in time. The other application, as I mentioned, is for the urban renewal. In such a technique, we are able to include the neighborhood building heights and densities when we plan a new area, old area, like in the Kowloon City Renewal. We know that some of the old buildings are going to be dismantled. A new development are going to be in plan in the next 5 years. The technique we have is that we are able to capture the surrounding neighborhood in our computer analysis, so that the local environment can be analyzed and predicted in the early planning stage. In such a way, we are not only going to design more energy efficient buildings, but also go to make the neighborhood more livable, more enjoyable by the residents in terms of access, in terms of walkability, but also in terms of the thermal environment, so that we have a more pleasant, livable, let's say healthy neighborhood, also resilient to the global change and heat wave attacks. Another application of the geoinformatics is to support autonomous driving, and this requires high definition map. And now the Research Institute is developing a standard in this relation. In cities, as we know, if you walk around in a city, in a neighborhood, you are not familiar, and we can easily get lost, especially in high density environment. Now, this is one of the techniques our research try to address. So it's support say walking in a very high density 3D environment. Time's up. Okay. I believe I have a lot of slides to share, but for the sake of time, I think I'll quickly show you the slides, and which you can come back to us. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Niu. I know there are many kind of like example technology available. So please visit our website and pair, and each of institute have their own technology or demonstration and publications. Please do. We are leaving probably at the end of the session for 15 minutes. Please note down your questions. It's a very nice occasion for about interacting with leading research in the field. Okay, so our next speaker, Professor Sengwei Wang, and which is director for the Research Institute on the Smart Energy, also is kind of like financially support by Autopung Charity Foundation. Professor Wang, please.
Thank you, Professor Li. It's a great pleasure to introduce to you the Research Institute for Smart Energy. So the Research Institute is established under the donation of Professor Otto Pan, and RISE, which the short name is RISE. The RISE is established as a cross-disciplinary research platform in the university for developing innovative energy technology and sustainable and carbon neutral solutions in the energy aspect. So the Research Institute has 5 main focus areas, including district energy systems and smart grid, smart building and smart energy systems, advanced energy storage technologies, and advanced and renewable energy conversion technologies, and advanced energy materials. So that's 5 focus areas to serve smart energy system technology and the industry, and enabling energy technologies to as the energy products manufacturing industry. And the Research Institute involves about 70 professors and faculty members from 12 departments in the university. So I have a very quick summary on the outputs and the summary of the major external grant and achievement in the last 3 years. And we group it into 3 categories. One is common research grant. So we have 10 projects, including 4 CIF, 1 SRF, and 1 AOE. So totally together about 52 million. The second category is common technology development grant, 9 projects, 41 million Hong Kong dollars. And the third category is industry and society grant. We have 6 projects and over 22 million. So in terms of outputs, so as I said, we totally have 25 external projects. Together is about 115 million Hong Kong dollars. And in total, we have 476. I think now it's about 500, over 500 journal papers published, which is included in Web of Science. And of course, one of the main work is the task is the industrial, international, and mainland corporations. So this is a statistics of the publications and the citations in the last. So this is a summary of 1 year ago. So here I show you two cases, impact cases. One is the digital intelligence for energy efficiency and energy flex for buildings, integrating advanced AI, IoT, 5G, and the digital twin technologies. So this is a package of project technologies. So this is actually implemented in the IGC. So the IGC is a new name, is actually the buildings now is under development in the Kalong Highway Station, on top of the Kalong Highway Station. So this is the in cooperation with a major developer in Hong Kong. And the projected annual energy saving is at least 5.6 million kilowatt per year. So if you convert to CO2 emission, so it's about 3,600 tons per year. And we also can reduce the peak demand for over 5%. And another project application is in the pharmaceutical production building, and we achieved the saving for over 40%. And another case is the new world records in printable organic solar cell development. And the colleagues actually have two records, but of course this record is keeping updated. So there's 22% for the power consumption efficiency for the organic solar cells. And another type of organic solar cell is 26% of efficiency, but of course it's keeping updated as I mentioned. So there are some more details on different focus areas. I'm not going to go details. I just highlight. So repeat the five focus areas. In one focus area is district energy system, smart grid. So this area we have a lot of projects which is related to power systems and particularly related to the power grid. And the second area is the smart building and smart energy systems. So the projects, including different projects, which is related to new generation, the next generation smart building technologies, and the use of district organization in cooperation with IoT and the 5G technologies. The third area is advanced energy storage materials, and a lot of projects for energy storage and with different, for instance, the hydrogen storage and so on. And another fourth areas is advanced renewable energy conversions of different technologies, different projects in this area. And the fifth focus area is advanced energy materials. So I'm not going to detail. If you have interest, you just go to our website, and also you can talk to me afterwards. Thank you so much.
About keeping the time well. And so we move on for our next speaker, Professor Xiaoli Ding, is a director for our Research Institute for Land and Space. Professor Ding, please.
Thank you, Professor Lee, and good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to talk briefly about this Research Institute for Land and Space. This RI was set up about 3 years ago, mainly to carry out interdisciplinary research with two main goals. One is to find the best ways to create land and space. Secondly, to make the best use of available land and space. So over the past 3 years or so, we have received totally about 150 million Hong Kong dollars research funding. And but today I think I will mainly talk about these two pieces of research as examples. First, we have developed a new approach for land reclamation. I guess you all know land reclamation actually is very important for Hong Kong. We started to reclaim land many years ago, actually 180 years ago. And so far we have reclaimed about 80 square kilometers of land. So basically, we can see without land reclamation, there won't be Hong Kong today. I think if you look at the land below us now, I think the land was reclaimed from the sea also. So if you look ahead, this is a major land reclamation project Hong Kong government has planned. So this will be completed in the next 10 years or so. One important challenge in land reclamation is the sand. We need a lot of sand in order to reclaim land from the sea. For example, if you look at this project here, it needs 100 to 200 million pounds of sand. So if you multiply that amount to this unit cost of sand, you can see just sand alone, that will cost a lot of money. So in order to address this problem, our group have carried out some project. This is actually led by Professor Qingyan from CE department. The idea mainly is to use the locally dredged Hong Kong marine deposit for land reclamation. So that material together with some supplement materials together will form this land reclamation process. So this can replace the sand. You can see there's no sand here used. This is actually the technology behind that idea. The colleagues have developed, for example, the so-called horizontal drains, the vertical drains, and also the vacuum field surcharge and so on. I think we will not get into too much details. So we have carried out a field trial of this idea in Chung. I think you all know this is very close to the Hong Kong airport. This shows the initial stage of the the land reclamation using the marine deposit. And through this process, you can see at the end, we get a very solid ground. In this process, this method actually can reduce the land reclamation cost by over 90%. You can say this is a very big saving if you consider a big project. And also in the same time, this can accelerate the land reclamation process by 5-fold. So this is much faster. So second example I wanted to look at is this floating platforms. So if you look at this Hong Kong's map here, you can see the land is in the green color and the sea is in the white color in the background. But if you look at these two numbers, the sea area actually is much larger than the land area. So the question here, can we use more sea area to support our lives? So this is the motivation behind our research here to develop floating platforms. For example, this is an idea, so we can develop such floating cities. And here you can see this is a floating bridge, this is a floating wind power generator, and so on. So everything is floating on the water. So in order to do this, there are a lot of challenges. I think I will not get into too much details. But in order to achieve this goal, we needed to solve these problems. So our colleagues actually is working very closely with the collaborators in Hong Kong and also
from an alumni of EDC in the year of 2006.
So you can see these photos
quite
actually
interested
are
in
some
the area
discussion
of our
forums we organized
daily life, for example, health. I wanted to
So, for
address
example,
the
this
questions
is
on the Chinese medicine
one
department.
of the things they
Professor,
have
please.
developed. This is so-called
To what
ultra
extent
high
will
performance
AI
concrete.
can play
So I think I will not get into too much details, but this material will be ideal for the floating structure.
Chinese medicine on general
our colleagues are also looking
mental
at
health.
the
Thank you.
safety or the health of these floating platforms. For example, when the typhoon comes, what will happen to these platforms? So we have carried out some tests using these kind of simulated platforms. So our colleagues also are working on different kinds of applications of floating platforms. So if you look at this list, basically this can include almost everything, that support our lives. So for example, from parks to wetlands to factory and so on. In particular, I think our colleagues are working very hard to develop these so-called smart floating farms. So we use these floating platforms for fishing, for poultry kind of farms and so on. So finally, if I can advertise a conference, we are organizing this so-called 4th World Conference on Floating Solutions. So it will be very soon, just 1 or 2 months away. So if you have interest, you're welcome to take a look at this website. So everything on this conference is about floating solutions. So I will stop here. Thank you very much.
That's kind of a nice introduction for the institute. For last speaker is Professor C.S. Pung, and also within about this Director for Research Center for Resources Engineering and towards carbon neutrality. And Professor Pung, please, 5 minutes.
Yes, I'm aware I only have 5 minutes because we are only a center, not an institute. We get less money from the university, much less. So don't expect us too much. So the vision of RCRE is to establish PolyU as the forefront of research institute in low carbon construction material and waste recycling. Low carbon means addressing climate change, achieving carbon neutrality. And then because use of construction material have a lot of embodied carbon, and this would contribute to climate change. That's why we are focusing on this particular area in addressing climate change. And of course, recycling of waste will minimize landfill disposal, and we also contribute to the national and also Hong Kong government's circular economy policy. So we are turning waste into resources in which we also reduce CO2 as well as capture CO2. So we are looking in this ways, okay? And there's quite a number of it. We have in the center, we have about 40 professors doing various type of research in this, but turning all this waste into our resources. But I would like to, because only have 5 minutes, now we only have 3 minutes now. So I'll focus on what we have done the best, okay, or the most innovative idea is during the construction cycle of buildings or infrastructure, we are using every opportunity to minimize CO2 or capture CO2. For example, you use a lot of cement. Okay, Hong Kong use 7 million cubic meter of concrete every year. And then cement is one of the major constituent concrete, but cement production and usage contribute a lot of CO2, right? So we try to produce low carbon cement through using a raw material from waste. I'll tell you what are waste. And then this cement is produced at very low temperature, much lower than the current temperature that is in cement kiln. Cement kiln uses 1450 degrees Celsius. We only use 1100. And then we don't use virgin material. So low carbon cement. And during the use cement for concrete production, and during the concrete production, we also utilize CO2 to produce the concrete rather than normal hydration. Normal hydration use water and cement. But in our case, we use water and cement and CO2 to accelerate the accelerate the hardening as well as capture a lot of CO2 during our production of concrete. So that's why we call CO2 activation. And after the concrete is produced, we also, for example, concrete products like paving block, partition block, etc. We use a lot of, nowadays we use steam curing mostly, but now we can replace steam curing by CO2 curing. That means in the process, we minimize the use of energy, but also capture a lot of CO2 during the curing process. And this we call carbon negative concrete products. And another one that we are also interested in producing lightweight concrete. Lightweight concrete, which minimize the foundation. If using lightweight concrete for MIC, we can minimize transportation. We using lightweight concrete also could minimize heat exchange. That means we can have a good insulation of our concrete structures. But during the production of lightweight concrete, we have invented in our institute, in the center, our own lightweight aggregate using we call a CO2 foaming process. You say lightweight concrete contain a lot of pores, right? These pores are introduced normally by air foam or by other material, but we use CO2, a waste, CO2 as greenhouse gas as foam to contain in our lightweight concrete to make the concrete lighter, as well as capture a lot of CO2, and also the concrete can be used for our MIC or other construction purposes. Okay, 49 minutes, and then at the end, when we have demolished our building, the recycled aggregate can be also turned into resources through CO2 activation. So this is what we do. Particular very exciting one. And then these are the example of waste that we use. C&D waste, construction waste glass, ashes from incinerator, as well as recycled asphalt that we try to recycle them as well. This is one of the projects that we are doing is using waste glass, okay, in substituting, for example, substituting the normal cement in the manufacture of we call high strength concrete. Another project we do is waste plastics. Waste plastic is a very common nuisance in Hong Kong. Actually, we can do to make use of the waste plastic in the asphalt, and then minimizing a lot of asphalt or minimizing waste plastic disposal at landfill as well. So I think I've run out of time just now. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any query, you can go to our website to look at it. Okay.
Thank you, Professor Peng. Just now we're leaving probably about 10-15 minutes. So I also asking our three private speaker take a seat. And thank you very much. I know it's already almost 5:30 in the Saturday afternoon. Thank you for your really interest to join us for this pair session. So I hope for the next 10-15 minutes, if you still have any question, we have this open dialogue with leading expert in the field. So anyway, anyone can whatever asking any question from our future current technology, green to the whatever sustainability, urban development, and energy issues, and even about our indoor comfort or whatever. So please raise your hand and we can passing a microphone to you or whatever. Yeah.
About the last speaker on the materials. I saw you create a lot of novel approach in, I don't know why or how, you seems to reassemble something like glass into building material. But when I look at the wall, it's building material. Then the glass is turned into the material. That's why I'm a bit confused. Worried about the sustainability of the material. So there is, what do we say? Material, concrete, sand. So each material has got its own, characteristic. And when you change something into this material, then I don't know what. I don't know how.
Okay. Thank you for the questions. Could I answer? Yeah, please. glass, we drink a lot of wine, Hong Kong people, right? And I do myself, okay, sometimes. And then in Hong Kong, we are generating about more than 200 tons of waste glass every day. And then there are 80% of which is disposed of landfill. Okay, if we don't recycle them, they are in the landfill and then occupy a lot of land. So that's why the Polytechnic University have been doing waste glass recycling for quite some time. And then we have already developed our 4th generation of eco blocks using glass as our principal constituent to crush the glass. Of course, you have to collect it, right? Crush the glass into different sizes. And the different sizes of the glass can be utilized for different applications. For the color, I mean the sand size, we can replace sand. Okay, because natural sand or river sand or even manufactured sand is quite expensive. We have to import from China or from other places, and then we can substitute the sand or aggregate by the cullet, and we can save a lot of resources and can reuse our waste. And then actually the chemical nature of sand and glass are similar. They're silica. Okay, you can see in sand is quartz, right? Xiangdong is silicon oxide. In glass is also it's not Xiangdong, okay, but it's still silicon dioxide. So basically, the chemically the same. As long as you make it, the particle size distribution are okay, and also we assess the mechanical property as well as the chemical durability is okay, then it can be used. This is very simple. We've been using it for quite some time. In Hong Kong, all the Hong Kong locally produced paving block are using the PolyU technology. That means the eco glass sand. But now recently we have progressed to substitute cement by grinded, okay, glass powder. Glass powder actually is silicon dioxide. It's amorphous, is reactive. It can be used to substitute cement. Cement basically, when it hydrate, it produces some strength due to the production of some chemical. But the glass powder actually can also be hydrated through certain process. Okay, it can produce the same chemical for binding. So we have already successfully developed this technology in PolyU. We can use to substitute cement and then cut down a lot of CO2 emission actually. And then if we are in the trial stage, we have shown you a project funded by Green Tech Fund. We are using this to have a trial use of this material for real application. This is trial use. We need to go through a lot of procedures, like the building departments, like the civil engineering department. So we are doing this, and then I think it's a challenge. Of course, seem to be very unthinkable of using waste glass in concrete, but this is done. I think is there some similar example in Canada, in Europe, even in Taiwan or other places? I think this could be done as long as we have the imaginations. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question from our floor audience?
I think all the time about the conservative or fighting between the innovations and proven design, right? So what's the strategy of Polytechnic or your department to put your innovative output into real practice to commercialize what you've done in your research and development? Thank you.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we always promote that our work is to provide cost-effective, innovative innovation technologies. Actually, for instance, not just in the Research Institute for Smart Energy, because there are many applications. For my team, as one team in the Research Institute for Smart Energy. So in the last few years, we actually have a lot of applications and in Hong Kong, in GBA, and for new building projects, for existing building projects, building upgrades, and it could be The big ones, big buildings is up to 500,000 square meters, and the small buildings, of course, there are also small buildings. And the energy saving, as I mentioned, is from 18% to 42%. And for individual projects, energy saving is up to 10 million per year. So and actually, the payback period we have is half a year, because it's we can actually provide quite low cost smart solutions for actual projects. And you can also find some of quite a few of our very successful PhD graduates, actually the PhD project is based on these application projects.
Okay, I may just quickly supplement. There's a very good question. That's why we need a more activity for this kind of innovation like Open Day. And we are from beginning to working very closely with industry. So it's not just suddenly out of the blue. So we actually know the construction industry, particular for our 4 institute related land, space, and building energy issue. So we have quite a strong industry collaborator. We know their need. We actually working the technology practical use. Okay, that's the issue from our beginning to design the project. So the second part, and I think even at the beginning, the president mentioned about PolyU in Hong Kong, we only limited the Hong Kong campus here. It's only probably very small. In the last 5 years, our research staff in double. Now we have 7,000 PhD postdoc or PhD student doing full-time job on research in this very small area. And even some of our PhD students cannot get a seat for their own work. But that's why PolyU have last probably 2 years, we have established 14 research and development center institute in mainland China. So we have actually signed this MOU or detailed contract within about different cities, almost all these along the coast. So in that way, it's kind of our platform to go for commercialization. So fundamental research, 1, 2, 3. And some of this further, our research institute task is going to this 4, 5, 6. Then this kind of a research institute, high technology research institute in mainland for about 14, they doing about this 7, 8, 9. So that's kind of like really getting our research talent, research expertise into a better practical use, whatever in the field. Okay, I hope addressing some of your concern or question. Thank you. Any other one have any issue or questions? Yeah.
Very quickly, because I concern of the Carbon Neutrality Association. The association would like to working with the university for the so-called ECM and CBCC. ECM you're very familiar in China, but they try to introduce some investment, the green finance to Hong Kong. As Professor Wang said, that if I can 6 months to repay the investment, even I prolong this 36 months, it's really a good business, then good return on investment. So ECM should be a keyword. Second is CBCC, mean Chinese building carbon credit. It's in Guizhou, but no one knows about this. But Singapore endorses, MAS endorses, the building council endorses in Singapore. So the association tries to persuade or even push the Hong Kong government to endorse the CBCC. That is made in China international standard. After Mr. Wang and Professor Wang and Professor Poon, they have a very good innovation and good project. Then we should have some carbon credit as a value added. So just supplement this.
Very good point. And we should actually join hand by hand in hand to further
promote and to making further collaboration on it. That's very good point.
Okay. I have the question based on the project experiences. I have for the smart models, and I want to know what technologies to make this data cities or smart cities to in the visual display ways, because there's high data resources. And
so Jenny, you want to respond on it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether I understand, I capture your question correctly. Could you repeat the question?
Okay. I will. Well, because in this holiday with low altitude, the volume in the PolyU, we see this technology is shown at that in the first time, and at that time we want to find our program want to find these data for Hong Kong, because we want to put this data cities into Web 3D technologies and make it visual data and show it to the world. And but we just find it some data from the Hong Kong government, and they just with very simple data stickers and the models in that. And in the next step, so because in today's PPTs we see that just for one tower in it, and at the next step, how to make it into the visual displays in some technologies ways.
Okay, thank you. Now the question is now for the digital, let's say for a digital city, we can have different levels of resolution with regard to the geometry of the building, location, height, and even the cavity and so on, right?
Yeah.
Currently, within the government, under the government public data, we have the so-called footprint data of Hong Kong. So each building with its height and footprint is digitalized and available publicly. Now, basically within the Smart City Research Institute, under the leadership of Chung, we try to develop a high resolution data for different districts. Now, to give you example, because I'm not sure about the different application purpose. For the purpose of to optimize, say, the ground level wind and thermal environment, we would need different levels of resolution of the surrounding building data. So that is one of the research we're addressing. Basically, to capture, say, the wind within the campus of PolyU, we need to include the neighborhood within several kilometers at least, with a fairly high resolution into the wind simulation data, like similar to the weather forecast. Now we are doing that is one of the level for the developed data. But how to simplify the data, how to say using different resolution of data for different application purpose is another also technology we are developing. Currently, my research focusing on the urban, say, microclimate is more about how to capture the influence of the building to the ground of the ground level wind. So that is one of the application. So we are focusing on that level, what kind of resolution of the building data we should have. I think your question is general about the different application. You would need the different levels of the building. Even for the, say, for the high resolution, say, navigation guide, when you hold your smartphone to walk around, you need a fairly high resolution of the space data. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
Okay, so that's good discussion. Any last question? Anyone have one?
Last question for Professor Ding from Research Institute of Land and Space. So I think it's a quite interesting land development strategies have been investigated, because we can foresee Hong Kong in the future. We have tons of constructions, whether in the built land of North Mature Plan or new land to be built in the future, the land tomorrow vision. And it's also quite interesting to see the floating platforms. So my question is, to your opinion, like what kind of land solution, reclamation or the floating area is more capable or economically friendly to Hong Kong in the future? And then what is the major concern or challenge if we apply this kind of technology in Hong Kong? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think it's a quite a difficult question to answer. I think currently, if you look at, if you compare the different options, one is the floating structure, the other one is using the developing existing land. I think if you look at the cost is still lower for existing land. For example, the government is pushing the Northern Metropolis that project. Compared to the Koicho Central Islands, I think the cost is lower. Another major challenging is to make sure the floating structures are stable and safe and so on. So this still need more research. We have seen a lot of examples from other countries. For example, in Netherlands and other countries, in Middle East. In these places, normally there are no typhoons. So in Hong Kong, we know we have a lot of typhoon and kind of strong typhoon actually. So we need actually more research to develop new knowledge how to handle this kind of harsh environments. But I think we can see in the near future we might be able to develop at least small scale kind of floating platforms. The government actually is also interested in doing some tests. For example, currently we are working with the CDD to develop some floating tree platforms for trees and so on. Things like, for example, swimming pools, tennis courts, and so on, I think should be able to be built in the near future. We actually propose to the government to build some part of the Koicho, land reclamation project as floating platforms. I think they are sort of accepting this kind of suggestions, but how much they will build, I think is still not known yet. But for floating platforms, I think one good advantage is the sea level rise. When the sea level rises, the floating platforms will not have much problems because it's going up together with the sea. But in other areas, low laying areas, I think when the sea level is rising, I think that we just discussed about this. Some land might be flooded. I think so. There's a advantage and also disadvantages. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I thinking anyway. Thank you very much for joining us, and also thank you for our online audience as well. So if you can join me thanking our 4 speakers for this session again. Yeah. And also, I would like to acknowledge Professor Qingyan Chen's and also our pair team for excellent work to organize this 3 sessions. And in this afternoon for this very important component for this PolyU Innovation Open Day, plus our kind of great alumni homecoming. So there's definitely a more kind of a collaboration opportunity in the future. But anyway, sustainability, city, health, and advanced manufacture, all our key business in Hong Kong's economy. Hope we can all contribute in the future. Thank you very much.